As we take a quick break from tournament coverage, all of us at the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union want to extend our sincere appreciation to our title sponsor, the Iowa Farm Bureau, for their continued support of this championship event. I'm joined once again by Brent Johnson, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau, who's here to share more about the special souvenirs our participating student athletes will be taking home this week.
You know, that's right, Aaron. Our incredible student athletes won't be leaving empty-handed. Every athlete competing today will take home a custom souvenir bag tag to commemorate their hard work and dedication. And for our championship teams, we're thrilled to present pink championship ball caps, a bold symbol of everything that they've earned. Athletes will also receive a signature ball, perfect for collecting autographs from coaches and teammates and creating a keepsake that they'll treasure for years. Each of these items is more than just swag. They're reminders of what's possible when you work hard and follow your dreams.
Brent, thank you to the Iowa Farm Bureau for helping make this championship experience so special for our athletes. Now let's get back to the action.
It's moving day here at the IGHSAU State Softball Championships at the Harlan Hazel Rogers Sports Complex in Fort Dodge, either moving through the bracket to the championship or moving themselves back to their hometowns and ending their tournaments. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Hy-Vee Field. Aaron Eggestal with you, getting set for our first elimination game of the day. It is Logan-Magnolia, the Panthers, taking on the Raptors of Ridgeview. Welcome inside the press box. Second member of our team, Andy Pollock, back with us again here in the Class 2A field here at Hy-Vee Field. And Andy, it's one of those days where we could see some teams play a lot of softball games.
Well, I've had this day bookmarked on my calendar since we saw this new format that was going to come out. We knew Wednesday would be huge here. We will have in each class, we will have our championship game set for the next 2 days, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see who rises to the top. This new format is provided for a lot of exciting moments. Every game has a lot of meaning behind it, and we'll have a great chance today to see a good one this morning between a couple teams who have yet to see each other in this tournament.
Talk a little bit about what these two teams face and how they find their way to the championship game.
Well, Logan-Magnolia, I think, in my mind, is kind of the story of the tournament. They upset the number one team, Riverside, to get to the tournament in general, and then yesterday eliminated number 2, Durant. So behind their pitcher, Campbell Chase, and just some timely hitting. They've been able to put up the runs when needed, and that's why they're here this morning, able to have a chance to play in the championship game, and they'll play they'll play Ridgeview, and we have not seen Ridgeview yet here as they've been in the later half of the day, but had a chance to talk to a lot of their fans, their coach as well, and get an idea of what we're going to see when the communities of Galva and Holstein and Nemaha and Early and Shaler all come together, and we'll see what they do here this morning. And on a beautiful day, a couple clouds in the sky, but man, after day one, when you had a heat index of 108, now we're out here this morning in the 60s. You can see a lot of hoodies out there, nice and cool up here in the press box as well, and just a beautiful day as the sun starts to come out right now. But yeah, Ridgeview. They got here in their first round. They beat Durant. They were the first team to beat Durant, beat them 2-0, and then yesterday lost in a shootout to Wapsie Valley 11-9 in a game that went back and forth quite a bit. Teams scored a lot of runs in the end. Wapsie Valley, though, with the win. And then the way this will work out is the winner of this game will play Wapsie Valley this afternoon at 2:30, and then if the winner of this game would beat Wapsie, they'll play again. So clear as mud, right? We'll get that all figured out as the day goes on. Hang on, trust us. If there's a game being played, we'll have it on. So just keep checking back if you're curious if your team's playing or not.
Yeah, and for both of these two teams, we'll talk about it when we see our starting lineups, but and here are our starting lineups. Both these two teams making some changes. We've seen it in the order, in the lineups, and so both these two teams trying to find a way to win this softball game.
Yeah, this time of year, a lot of times you'll have coaches setting in their ways, but you've got a couple coaches that have massaged some things in their lineup because they think that's the way that they have the best opportunity to win today. And you also have to do that a little bit based on how's everybody feeling. Little dings here. Little scratches might keep somebody from playing at their best, and not sleeping in your own bed at night. People get tired, people get sick, and you got to figure out how to get your best lineup out on the field. And especially, After playing, these two teams didn't, but a couple teams played a couple games last night, or thinking ahead. You obviously have to go one game at a time, but thinking ahead to maybe playing a second game today and what that could do not just to your pitching staff, but to the gals who are out there on their feet all day long. 14 innings can be a lot of softball.
And you talked about some injuries causing players to maybe not play. On the good side for Ridgeview, they're going to get one of their players back. They're going to get their center fielder, Leslie Avina, back in this game. She was hurt in the regional quarterfinals against East Sac. She did not play in the regional semifinals, did not play in the regional finals. She pinch hit in both of the two games that they have played, or in two of the games that they have played here at the state tournament, but she is back in the starting lineups. Let's go to Rex Baker, our PA announcer, for today's lineups and introductions.
Take a quick break here for the national anthem and be back with softball here this morning, Class 2A from Hy-Vee Field.
As we take a quick break from tournament coverage, all of us at the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union want to extend our sincere appreciation to our title sponsor, the Iowa Farm Bureau, for their continued support of this championship event. I'm joined once again by Brent Johnson, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau, who's here to share more about the special souvenirs our participating student athletes will be taking home this week.
That's right, Aaron. Our incredible student athletes won't be leaving empty-handed. Every athlete competing today will take home a custom souvenir bag tag to commemorate their hard work and dedication. And for our championship teams, we're thrilled to present pink championship ball caps, a bold symbol of everything that they've earned. Athletes will also receive a signature ball, perfect for collecting autographs from coaches and teammates and creating a keepsake that they'll treasure for years. Each of these items is more than just swag. They're reminders of what's possible when you work hard and follow your dreams.
Brent, thank you to the Iowa Farm Bureau for helping make this championship experience so special for our athletes. Now let's get back to the action.
Back here to Hy-Vee Field, getting set for our Class 2A elimination game between Ridgeview and Logan-Magnolia. Aaron Eggleston and Andy Pollock with you for this one. And Andy, here we go. It's an exciting day of softball here in Fort Dodge. We get to start off what could be a good one here between Logan-Magnolia and Ridgeview. Both teams have put up some runs this tournament so far. As you mentioned, a shootout yesterday between Wapsie Valley and Ridgeview. We'll see what Ridgeview has. And then for a team like Logan-Magnolia, played a close one yesterday, had to win a close contest.
Well, we thought that was heading towards a shootout as well when they put up 5 runs in the top of the first, or six runs. I got to remember back. That was a while ago. But, yeah, there was 9 runs scored in the first inning of that game yesterday with Logan-Magnolia and Durant. Then 1 scored the whole rest of the game. So that was a twist on how things went. But honestly, I think it was a little deceiving with all those runs being put up because there were just some miscues in the field that led to those runs getting up there, and then both pitchers settled in, and we're going to see a good one this morning. And Campbell Chase, she was really good throughout the course of this tournament so far, as well as pitched all 13 innings for Ridgeview, 10 strikeouts. And she has done a good job. Giving up some base runners, but done a good job of getting herself out of any bad situation so far. And that's why they're playing for a chance to go to the title game.
Yeah, and she's 4th. We talked about it yesterday. If you joined us for the game yesterday, she's 4th in Class 2A in strikeouts this season for Logan-Magnolia. She picked up 6 strikeouts in her game yesterday, which puts her just 4 out of 3rd place in all of Class 2A, as Cora Tesh will step in, the catcher for Ridgeview, to face Chase for the first time, and the first pitch misses outside for a ball. To be 1 ball and no strikes to count.
Tesh has had a phenomenal start to the state tournament, batting over 500 right now in tournament play. Exactly what you want out of a leadoff hitter.
And this one is lined into right field. That's going to be through the gap in right center field. It's going to be extra bases for Tesh. She's around first and into second base. And you couldn't ask for a better start if you're Ridgeview, as the Raptors have a runner in scoring position at second base for the Channel Seeds extra base hit. All of our extra base hits in this tournament. And today's game, a rise, runner at second base. Nobody out here for Ridgeview.
Got around on a pitch up in the zone a little bit. Yesterday we saw Chase's pitches drop out of the zone a bunch. She went to that drop change. Durant had a tough time getting much more than bunts out of it.
As Reese Hawthorne steps in to bat from the right side. Talk about Cora Tesh. In the last 2 games, she has 5 hits now. She had 4 hits yesterday against Wapsie Valley. 4 hits, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. She was 4 of 5 yesterday, and now 1 for 1 already today. As Reese Hawthorne stepping in from the right side. Also had a hit in that game yesterday. The 1-1 count. She's going to try to lay down a bunt. It's going to go just foul. That actually was probably in a really good spot if it stayed fair there.
Well, and ended up calling a bunt on the changeup. Good scouting there, expecting an off-speed pitch. A lot of times it's a lot easier to get those changeups down on the ground. They have a little more drop to them than the other pitches. Usually you're looking at more of an upward motion. on a lot of pitches coming in, but just couldn't quite keep it fair.
And the 1-2 now. This one's out into right field. At minimum, could move the runner. The catch will be made out in right field, and that will move the runner, Tesh, to third base, getting the job done. Out in right field today is Chandler Klutz for Logan-Magnolia. And Klutz normally just a courtesy runner for this Logan-Magnolia team. That's her first put out of the season.
Yeah, read it very well. Did not look like someone playing their first time in the field this year. Got that drop step back to her left. Really nice contact, though, put into it by Hawthorne. Ball carried for a little bit. Exactly the right spot, though, if you're going to advance the runner from second to third.
And now for Ridgeview, a ball to the right side, a ball to the outfield. Should give you your first run of the game with just one out. And an 0-1 count. Chase is going to try to work out of this one and bringing a pitch like that, the off speed. It's a good pitch to come back to on 0-1.
Well, Ashinger's shown that she has the power to take it out, but maybe looking at trying to manufacture a run here early on. Saw a couple classes yesterday with coaches bunting with 2 strikes. Not out of the realm of possibility.
The 0-2 misses high for a ball as Ashinger lets that one go. She'll play shortstop. Also will pitch for Ridgeview if need be. .330 hitter this season. Came into pitch yesterday after 5 runs given up by Ridgeview in the first inning. But hadn't really pitched much before that in quite a while. This one in the air towards the left side. That is not going to score the run for Ridgeview, and now there's going to be 2 away as a nice play by the third baseman Hawkins comes across the middle of the infield and makes the catch.
2-strike high fastball after a couple drop changes. The ball looks like it's coming in a lot faster than what those first couple pitches. It adds a lot of miles per hour to your fastball when you're throwing a lot of changeups.
Ridgeview going to lead off double now, trying not to strand that runner at third base. It's Tesh will eventually be the catcher today for this Ridgeview team behind the plate. No balls and 1 strike to count as Campbell Chase trying to work onto the leadoff double on the left side. And Hawkins will fire to first in time for out number 3. A great job there by Logan-Magnolia. They got out of things. Couple of plays at third base by Hawkins to end the threat here in the top half of the first inning. We played a half. It's Ridgeview 0 and Logan-Magnolia coming to bat when we come back. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Back to Fort Dodge, the IGHSAU. There's a look at Nora Todd, who will be in the circle today for Ridgeview. And Andy, yesterday a little bit of a rough start, but she's had a great 8th grade season.
Yeah, absolutely a great start to her year. In fact, 14-3 on the season. Struck out, closing in on 100 batters for the year, 1.62 earned run average. And, she split time with Zoe Ashinger. Ashinger hasn't pitched in the postseason until yesterday. In fact, hasn't pitched almost a month until yesterday, but Coach Anderson just thinks they're a lot better defensively with a lineup they can put behind Todd. So that's who we see in the field today. And they're going up against a team that's been hitting the ball very well, and Grayson Stone is one of the better ones, batting over 400 in the tournament so far.
Yeah, and Todd's one of those pitchers. She's young. She'll work into it. But Ashinger at shortstop is just so good defensively in the middle of that infield. This one is hit deep to left field and back at the wall. See you later. A leadoff home run for Stone, as Graceland Stone gets Logan-Magnolia out in front. A rough day yesterday for Stone as she took softballs all over the place, and today she sends it out of here. The leader on this team in home runs this season, and Stone's got her first of the ball game.
Up to 9 on the season for her, and you hit the nail on the head. She took a lot of shots from softballs yesterday and had an opportunity there to take it out on a softball. There was no doubt about that ball as it sent it over the Loma fans out in left center field. They saw it right away, then they just watched it sail over their heads.
Couldn't have asked for a better start if you're Logan-Magnolia, as you get one of your leaders to send one out, and they lead 1-0. And that's what these big games are all about, Andy. You look at a team like Ridgeview, and they get the leadoff runner on second base, unable to bring her around. Logan-Magnolia gets their leadoff runner around all 4 bases.
They do it the efficient way, and now you got Kiger coming up, who's also had a really nice tournament. She's batting well over 500 in this, and they've been able to get a lot of production from her. You look down, Bartleson, Juritz, and some good hitters in there who haven't yet produced in the tournament that if they do, look out. Logan-Magnolia, they're the Giant Slayers. It's actually the lowest seed they've played in the tournament in Ridgeview.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count from Todd, and there's a swing and a miss. Todd will have her first strikeout of the game. So if you're looking at your young 8th grade pitcher, that's a good way to come back from that home run given up, get a strikeout.
Yep, and she's a great competitor, and you saw she does not look like an 8th grader out there. She's a strong player, goes with that fastball up and away, little outside movement for it, and great punch-out pitch.
Campbell Chase will step in now, the opposing pitcher today. We saw her in the top half of the first inning, able to work out of that leadoff double that was given up. Hitting .433 this season for Chase, the 1-0. This one's in the air to the right side. Could be playable on the right side of the outfield, but just gets down in foul territory.
Well, Chase hitless on the tournament so far, but you mentioned she bats over .430. I think she's due for a breakout game. She's done her work in the circle, and that's what she's getting paid for. She's up here, but yeah, I'd expect with her bat that at some point it's going to come alive. Especially the way that we see her compete. I love to watch her fielder position, too. She's a bulldog out there.
2 balls and 1 strike the count on Chase. Todd, the 2-1 pitch, off-speed pitch in there for a called strike. That looked like a good one.
Yeah, coming in looked like it was going to be high. Kept Chase a little bit off balance, and before you know it, just drops right down into the zone.
It's going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes the count from Todd to Chase. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts for Todd.
Going to the same location as she went in the strikeout before on Kiger, and just kind of keeping that up and away right now. Again, a little bit of, looks like it's coming to the top part of the zone, and then it goes even further out. Really easy to induce a swing on that pitch, especially when you work ahead in the count like she's been doing.
First baseman Bertelson steps in. First pitch is popped up, and the catch is made by Tesh behind the plate. So a leadoff home run given up, and after that, a quick 1-2-3 for Ridgeview. It's 1-0. Logan-Magnolia after 1 complete inning. We'll come back to Hy-Vee Field, the Class 2A tournament next. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
If you grill it, he will come.
Hey. Is this heaven?
Nope. It's fairway.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Back to Fort Dodge in the IGHSAU State Softball Championships. We head to the second inning in this Class 2A elimination game. Winner of this game has a long road to go to find their way to the championship, but for these two teams and these two coaches, it's all about one game at a time, Andy Pollock.
Yeah, you just got to not look at that possibility of, well, whoever comes out of this, if they're going to make it to the title game, they're going to have to win 3 games today. And it's easy for us to talk about that as announcers, but as coaches and players, you're just talking even broken down more, not just one game at a time, but one pitch at a time, and doing exactly your job every single time up there and eventually find your way to some success.
Winner of this will get Wapsie Valley at 2:30 this afternoon, as that one's in there for a strike. Couple of strikes to start off this at-bat for Campbell Chase back in the circle for this Logan-Magnolia team. This is Leslie Avina. We talked about her a little bit in the pregame as she sends this one high in the air. She's pinch hit a couple of times in this game, and a fantastic play by Stone from her shortstop position. Graceland Stone have a morning.
Yeah, Stone already making her presence felt here through an inning and a third with that home run already. And we've watched her fly all over the field over these last couple days. Been a fun player to watch.
As Harper Kress will step in now, and Harper Kress has had a fantastic season here for Ridgeview.
Yeah, now you look at her batting average and kind of wonder how you bury a player that far down in the batting order right now. She's been so good all season long, batting .461, and not just then, but batting over 700 right now in the state tournament.
No balls and 1 strike to count and the pitch. And that one will miss for a ball. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Kreese.
You get
Press.
You get Vina back in the lineup today, though, and got to feel pretty good about things of getting your full team back.
And having her back in center field, too. That's one thing, one position. We've talked about that all tournament long. Sometimes just having her back in center field, maybe if she's not able to find a hit today, but just having that leadership out in the field. Like I said, she's pinched hit a couple of times in each game, but has not been back to full strength since that injury. This one, a little bloop to the right side, and it's going to be played fantastically out in right field by Klutz. Again, Chandler Klutz for Logan-Magnolia had made no putouts this entire season until today, and she's got 2 of them out there in right field. Has just been a courtesy runner this season, has played in 23 games. As Todd, the pitcher, steps in now and swings to the first pitch. Swing and miss, 0-1.
Oh, we've seen Chase get in a groove pitching, and right now she's just sitting there waiting for those Ridgeview Raptor batters to be ready. She's ready to roll. Like the tempo that she works with.
There's a swing and a miss, a pitch that kind of fooled Todd there for a moment.
And she can strike you out, but what she's really good about is staying efficient and pitching to contact. Gets a lot of fly balls. Yesterday was getting ground balls in the infield. Today, working more of that upper part of the zone and getting a bunch of fly balls.
And that one is fouled off, so Todd will stay alive. No balls and 2 strikes to count 2 outs. Ridgeview trying to get something moving here on offense, but Campbell Chase has been fantastic so far after giving that leadoff double. Ridgeview has not been able to do anything. It's been strikeouts and flyouts. Here's the 0-2, and this one's fouled back to the backstop. Todd, couple of foul balls here, staying alive. We'll have the 5th pitch of this at-bat coming up.
And again, working that upper part of the zone. They like something about the way that Ridgeview's swinging the bat to get those pop flies.
And the 0-2 offering again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strikeout for Chase. Another half inning of 1-2-3 softball. After that leadoff double was given up, 6 straight outs recorded by Chase and the Panthers. As you see them huddling up there, getting ready to go into the dugout. They'll hit next when we come back in the bottom half of the second. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, Obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Whether you volunteer or hang with friends, play pickleball, read or follow trends. No matter what your retirement style, you deserve healthy eyes and a healthy smile. Some Medicare plans don't cover vision or dental. With Delta Dental, you can save on what's essential. Get coverage and take care of your health. It's peace of mind, so treat yourself. It's more affordable than you might think. Give us a call or visit this link.
Fort Dodge in the IGHSAU State Softball Championships. Nora Todd in the circle. 1 inning so far today, and she has been pitching the bulk of the innings in the postseason. And as Andy mentioned, since June, have not really seen much of Ashinger. It's been mostly Todd. They've been riding her back. Yesterday, did go to Ashinger for 5 innings. Actually threw 3 different pitchers yesterday. This one's into left field, and that'll be down for a base hit. So a leadoff single to start for Hawkins. Hawkins made a couple of plays at third base, and now is aboard of the leadoff single.
Yeah, Hawkins' first hit of the tournament. It's a clutch one here to get things started in the bottom of the second. And, you get some production out of this bottom half of the order, which they've got a lot here from Juritz, but Juritz and Hack coming up. In fact, we'll talk about Hack when she gets up, but she had a nice swing yesterday. I'll resist the
the urge to talk about it.
Temptation to
all right,
drop the pun there.
I won't either. 234 average this season for Abigail Juritz, and she sends this one deep to center field, sending it back towards the wall, and it is off the wall. Turns into just a single and a run moving to second base because you had to wait to see. But that is Leslie Avina, and that's what having that center fielder back might have saved the runner from going to third.
I think it absolutely did. And, she was almost able to make the play out in the outfield, but that ball crushed right off the bat of Juritz, and she continues her hot streak here in the state tournament.
So Juritz on first. Leslie Avina back in center field. She nearly tracked that one down back towards the wall, and that's the presence we were just talking about, of having Avina back there in center field, not just with her bat, but having her back playing the position. It forced that to be runners at first and second rather than runners at first and third or second and third, which could play huge dividends. We talked about Ella Hack, her first home run of the season yesterday, a 3-run bomb. 4 total RBIs.
Yeah, she was the player of the game. Also had a nice defensive play.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on a Hack, batting in the 7th spot in this order. Just a freshman. The 1-2 pitch. And that's outside for a ball. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Logan-Magnolia gets a run off of a leadoff home run by Stone. Have not scored, unable to score after that. But now have a threat here in the second. And the ball is bobbled by Ashinger at shortstop, and everybody's safe.
It was such a slow hit ball that she had to rush it, tried to pull it up and make the play, had to rush the play. I'm not sure even if she does field it cleanly, if she's able to get that put out over at first, because that ball was just so weakly hit. And this is a tough situation now because you watch them. The infield is in, and, man, doing something like this so early on in a game right now I think is tough because you take everybody out of position and you risk players being out of position to make the normal plays on the infield, and there's nobody out. I think you almost got to play more for the out right now. Maybe you can see to run.
Well, this is the first at-bat of Offenbacher in the state tournament, and what a big opportunity it is for her. 0-1, and she'll now be down on the count 0-2 as Offenbacher, the designated player today, did not play yesterday for Logan-Magnolia. They've been trying to figure out a couple of places. Their DP, right field, we talked about that, and this is where they decide to go today. This is outside for a ball. Coach Jamie Evans deciding to go with Offenbacher. So far this season, she's got just 9 games played and 12 total registered at-bats this season. The 1-2, and she'll line one at shortstop. Play over at first base, double play, no. Safe over at first. So a big out there for Ashinger as she gets one back.
Well, and the contact there actually pays off because I think if they're at normal depth, that probably ends up dropping on the ground. So it ends up paying off that time with the infield in as Ashinger makes up for the earlier miscue and nearly turns 2.
Now it's Kennedy Evans, and she'll line this one left side, but foul. Evans, another young athlete, an 8th grade catcher for this Logan-Magnolia team. Batting here from the left side, we mentioned yesterday, Coach feels like having a second leadoff hitter here in the 9 spot. Missing outside for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike the count. And has a chance to break this one open here for Logan-Magnolia with the bases loaded and just 1 out. The 1-1 count. This one lined into center field. It's going to score at least 1. Here comes the throw to shortstop. It will just score 1. Station to station for Logan-Magnolia. They extend their lead. It's now 2-0.
Well, and what that even does more is it gets you back to the top of the order with Grayson Stone and the tournament that she's had so far, batting over 500. Big home run to lead off the game here today, and now a chance to put a big dent in that scoreboard in the bottom of the second.
2-0, Logan-Magnolia leads. They've got the bases loaded. And as Andy mentioned, the leadoff hitter, the shortstop, one of the leaders of this team, Graceland Stone, steps in. Time is called. Everybody will step out.
Nice, especially now this part of the order that I'm not sure I like the idea of having your infield in.
This one in the air will go foul on a play towards the 5A field to our right side. No balls and 1 strike to count here on Stone. This is an elimination game here in Class 2A, and the bases are loaded for Lomo. And an off-speed pitch gets a big swing and a miss.
Love the location of that. Looks like it's coming in as a high fastball and then drops off the table. Got a big swing from Stone. We'll see what she can do with 2 strikes. We've just seen some big cuts from her. I'm not sure what she can do with 2 strikes.
The 0-2. This one in the air to the right side. It's heading towards foul territory, and it will be on a play foul. It'll be no balls and 2 strikes still to count. This would be a huge out for Todd, the young pitcher for Ridgeview, as she could find a way to get through Stone.
She's like to go up and away in these situations. Oh, boy.
In the air towards left field. It is caught. It will score a run. It's going to be a sacrifice fly. So if you're Stone, you're happy with that. Scoring runs in the state tournament. It's a sac fly for Stone and another RBI.
Absolutely. The way Chase has been throwing, you feel pretty good right now about this 3-0 lead. And the way they've been hitting the ball, too. And keep in mind, that was a lot of base runners and runs being scored to the bottom half of their order.
Kiger will step in now with runners at first and second for Logan-Magnolia. They would like to add on some more. Ridgeview trying to keep it at 3-3-0. This one's in the air towards center field. Avina will come in and she will make the play for out number 2, excuse me. No, that was 3. I thought so. 3rd out. We will head to the top half of the 3rd inning next. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Back to Fort Dodge in the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. The Raptors of Ridgeview trying to get their offense going here in the top half of the 3rd inning, but they have got a tall test against Campbell Chase. You see they're taking her final warm-up pitches, and Chase, who is top 5 in Class 2A in strikeouts this season for Logan-Magnolia. Over 150 innings pitched this season. Opponents hitting just 175 against her. And she has been outstanding already in this contest for Logan-Magnolia. And that pitch will miss for a ball. It'll be 1 ball and no strikes. Madeline Horan is the left fielder. Made that catch on the sac fly from Stone in the last half inning. The 1-0. You look at plays like that, too, and they're just so important. Imagine if she misses that ball out in left field.
Oh, it changes things a bunch, yeah.
So it's just so important. Sometimes you look at that and you're like, oh, it's an easy fly ball to left field. Of course, she made the catch. And sometimes it's just not as easy as it looks. But
you got to feel pretty good about bases loaded, nobody out, and just giving up 2 runs at that point. Now you got to get back to work on the bats and try to figure out, just get a couple base runners right now and key in on turning that order over and seeing a lot of pitches from Chase.
2 balls and 1 strike, the count here to Horan. Here's the pitch. This one is lined out into left field, and that's going to be down for a base hit. So Horan makes a nice catch out in left, and now she's started things off for Ridgeview, a team that scored a bunch of runs yesterday. Only scored 2 runs. That's all they needed to score in that opening round against Durand. But scored a bunch of runs against a pretty good Wapsie Valley team yesterday.
Logan-Magnolia doing some damage with the bottom part of their order. Now Ridgeview going to try to do the same thing with theirs.
And Savannah Cutterback will step in now, the second baseman for this Ridgeview team. Here in the 9 spot, we'll flip to the top of the order. 2 up next for Ridgeview. And that one's fouled back to the backstop. So far in this tournament, in yesterday's game, had a hit. A couple of runs scored and an RBI, a couple of times on base for Cutterback, the second baseman. Coach mentioned how much she has improved the last couple of weeks. Leading into the state tournament, has been really impressed with his 9-hole hitter, second baseman. And just as I say that, she lines one down into left field, just barely foul.
Missed it by just a couple inches, got way out in front of it. I'm not sure Chase wants to give her a pitch that good to hit on an 0-2 count again. So far, Cutterback able to hang in there.
No balls and 2 strikes to count, and the pitch, this one to the right side in the air, and the play will be made out in right field by Klutz. And what a change that has been for Coach Jamie Evans. 3 balls out there, all 3 of them have been caught so far.
Yeah, that's where there's some issues early on in the tournament, but seem to have got those fixed. Found the right combination there, and making sure that you only have to coach through 21 outs is the key.
Cora Tesh will step in. She led the game off with a leadoff double for Ridgeview, and they got stranded at third base. Back to leadoff here in the top spot. Mentioned had 4 hits in yesterday's game. And once she gets on the base pass, her speed is phenomenal. The 1-0 pitch, this one's in the air towards center field. And back to make the play is Hack. So Hack didn't have to go too far. A few steps back and makes the catch for out number 2.
We've seen Hack just be so dependable out there in center field for Logan-Magnolia. Not just this tournament, but throughout the course of the entire year. And she's young. That's a great place to have a leader be for the next several years.
Reese Hawthorne will step in from the right side. You were talking yesterday about Grandview Christian's Murphy older sister getting married. Well, Reese Hawthorne also has a sibling getting married this week as well.
Big week.
Big week for their family as well. The Hawthornes. Hello to them back at home getting ready for that wedding.
Well,
2 balls and no strikes.
Here.
Some are, some are not.
Some are okay, gotcha.
Yep. 2 balls and no strikes to count.
Back in one of those Nemaha, Shaler, Early, Galva, Holstein, one of the places that make up Ridgeview.
Some of the family made their way here to Fort Dodge. Some of the family at home, I'm going to assume, watching along today. In this game, 2 balls and 1 strike the count.
I've been there in a split split weekends, split tournaments between volleyball and football, softballs, different places. Always want to be where your kids are, but sometimes it's just not possible.
That one will miss for a ball. It'll be 3 balls and 1 strike. The count, runner at first base. 2 outs here for Ridgeview.
That's why these live streams, and obviously baseball and softball parents are all familiar with Game Changer. That's just been, I think I always say those are the real MVPs of every weekend.
The 3-1. This one's lined out into left field by Hawthorne, and she'll have a base hit with 2 outs. And Ridgeview trying to have some 2-out magic here in the top half of the third inning, trailing 3-0 in this elimination game in Class 2A.
I'd have to go back and look of how many 2-out runs we have seen scored on the games we've been calling, because it's been a lot over the last couple of days. I think there's that kind of just a mental deep breath that you take when you get 2 outs on a team, but you got to focus and get that last one here.
And this one is swung on and missed. As stepping into the box now is Ashinger, the shortstop, also one of the more reliable pitchers on this team so far this year. 17 appearances pitching, 11-4 overall record. Could possibly see her at some point today. Obviously, with the potential to play 3 games today, you're thinking that Ridgeview may be hoping that they can get through it with Todd here today and then have to go to Ashinger at some point. Hannah Brown also threw some innings yesterday, threw some outs, I should say. Not a complete inning. She got through 2/3 of an inning yesterday. Here's the 0-2, and that swung on and missed for strike number 3. 2 runners are left on base for Ridgeview at first and second. Third runner they have left on base in the contest. They trail by a score of 3-0. We'll come back bottom half of inning number 3 as next this is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Fort Dodge and the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. We're at Hy-Vee Field here in Class 2A where we will be until the championship games as that ball is sent up and out of play where Logan-Magnolia currently leads the game by a score of 3-0. You kind of throw the seeds out of things at this point of the tournament. It's all about winning softball games, but coming into the tournament, Logan-Magnolia, the 6th seed, as this one's in the air to the right side. The play will be made by Cutterbuck there at second base. Ridgeview came in as the 7 overall seed. Logan-Magnolia fell to Wapsie Valley, the 3 seed in the opening round. At Ridgeview, the 7 seed, beat the 2 seed Durant, and then also lost to Wapsie Valley yesterday. So that's how we get to this point where these two teams are facing in the 6 versus 7. And the pitch. That one misses. Low in the dirt for a ball.
You can tell all the games around us have started right now as the sound is amped up. So if you hear some sound, you hear cheering but wonder what's going on.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Ashinger bobbles and throws it wide of the base at first base, and it's going to be out of play as it's going to, I believe, go into the dugouts. So that'll be a couple of bases. They're going to talk about it, whether she's going to get third base as well or just second base.
Depends on when the throw was made, and they say she was not yet to first when the throw was made. And I saw the pump over there at short. I don't know if she bobbled it or if there was some issues getting first base covered. I'm not sure why the hesitation, but that threw everything off.
Thought maybe she just didn't have, sometimes the grip, right?
Yeah, but she definitely fielded it cleanly. I just didn't see what caused the pump there to throw that ball over to first.
is a throwing error charge to Ashinger. And so it'll be a 2-base error. Runners are at first and second. The 1-0. This one's popped up and out of play. And so back to Andy's point, yes, if she had crossed first base before that throw was errant, she would have gotten second and third, getting 2 bases. But if she's not to first base yet, then her 2 bases are first and second. Just for those at home that were wondering what that conversation may have been about. Good job by the officials. The umpires getting together, having a conversation about it. The throw to first base in time for the out by Cutterbuck. Moves the runner to third base, but you record an out.
Yeah, that's the important part here is they get the second one of the inning and try to make up for that runner getting on. You're looking at a pretty decent situation right now to try to get that last out and not give up any more runs.
Juritz will step in here from the right side. The pitch to Juritz is in the dirt for a ball. It'll be 1 ball and no strikes the count.
It's where behind the plate you got Tesh. Very important with that runner on third, especially with 2 outs. Even more important with 2 outs that you do not give up that extra run right now.
Off-speed pitch by Todd gets Juritz to swing through it. Juritz a senior on this team. For this Logan-Magnolia team, couple of seniors. We talked about Chase, we talked about Juritz. This one's popped out of play, but a lot of really young athletes. Stone is a junior, Kiger is a junior, Hawkins, the third baseman's a freshman, Hack, the center fielder, is a freshman, Evans, the catcher's an 8th grader. So a lot still coming back. There's a swing and a miss. And strike number 3 for Todd. She'll find the strikeout. Juritz is retired. No runs score in the third. First inning scoreless between both teams. We'll go to the 4th. It is 3-0 in this Class 2A elimination game rolling along here in Class 2A. 3-0 Logan-Magnolia. The 6th seed leads the 7th seed Ridgeview. We'll come back. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/wecare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
Back to Fort Dodge in the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Ridgeview down by 3-0 the score. Chase has been phenomenal so far for Logan-Magnolia.
Yeah, she continues to pitch to contact. I mean, not a ton of strikeouts in there, but she just continues to get the easy plays that her defense can make behind her. It's a great lesson for young pitchers. You know, early on, a lot of your best pitchers are the ones that can blow it by everybody, but you definitely don't need that to win at a high level.
In the air to left field, it'll be a foul ball. 2 strikeouts today so far for Chase. She had 6 strikeouts in the win yesterday over Durant. Has 2 strikeouts so far in this contest, which puts her up to 228 this season. For Logan-Magnolia, here's the 1-1. This one's in the air, left side. It's caught by the third baseman, Hawkins.
A big part of this game has been Logan-Magnolia making all the opportunities that they've been able to make, or the opportunities they've been given. So far, unfazed in the field. They've made all those plays behind Chase. Big difference in this game right now is 2 errors for Ridgeview and no errors for Logan-Magnolia.
Avina steps in now, the center fielder for this Ridgeview team, batting from the right side. 0 for 1 today. The 1-0 is inside. She'll get out of the way of it. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Avina.
Well, they're happy to have Avina back in the lineup right now. I know she'd like to make her presence felt. Already has on the defensive end of things. But would like to knock a couple balls around a little bit.
The 2-0. Ground ball, third base side. It'll be a fair ball. Throw across the diamond is in time by Hawkins. And how about the stretch over at first base by Bertelsen? Goes into the splits for the stretch. Helps out the play from Hawkins at third base.
Now just the agility and the athletic ability from Bertelsen over there. We've seen her hit the ball very well, and this time on the defensive end, not a lot of balls have been hit to her, but, man, every time there's a chance to complete a play like that, she has had her glove all over it.
And Bertelsen, the first baseman, if you remember from yesterday's game, she made a big impact over there at first base, made a couple of fantastic plays for Logan-Magnolia at first base in yesterday's game.
But you get so many balls hit to that side of the field with the way that Chase pitches. Today she's gone more inside. Yesterday it felt like that right side was getting everything, but, man, today she has worked that inside half, inside third of the plate a bunch. A lot more balls to the left side.
Yeah, we've seen balls to Stone. We've seen balls to Hawkins over at third base. No balls and 2 strikes to count. 2 strikeouts in the game so far for one of the best in Class 2A in strikeouts, Campbell Chase, and that one will be a ball 1 ball and 2 strikes. We talked about yesterday in Class 2A, the top 10 in strikeouts in Class 2A. Only 3 of them were here at the state tournament, including Chase.
And she's been good at strikeout. Hasn't struck out a ton of girls here at this tournament, but that's why I love just her ability to be comfortable in the circle, pitching to contact, and that time gets a strikeout as we talk about that.
Strikeout number 3 for Campbell Chase, and we get through 4 scoreless innings for Chase. It is 3-0 Logan-Magnolia leading over Ridgeview. We'll come to the bottom half of the 4th next. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Looks like another perfect day to get out there and enjoy the summer.
Oh, before she gets in the car, it's easy to choose.
Iowa State Fair, August 13th through the 23rd.
Fort Dodge in the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. The Iowa Farm Bureau is the presenter and sponsor of the 2026 Girls State Softball Tournament. And as the sole title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, Farm Bureau recognizes athletic and academic achievements on the softball diamond in the classroom, helping to nurture Iowa's future leaders. No balls and a strike to count. As Todd back to work in the circle, the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. This is Hack. The batter for Logan-Magnolia, it'll be 7, 8, and 9, back half of their order.
Which has been effective in this game. Led to 2 runs there in the bottom of the second.
And this one right in front of Teschet behind the plate, and she'll pick it up and fire it to first. The catcher for Ridgeview, Corin Tesch, doing a nice job there.
Well, and that's not an easy play to make is what it looks like. First of all, it's a swinging bunt, so it's a catcher that's not able to get up onto her toes to lean forward and make the play, and then the throw. You're throwing right at the back of the runner running down to first. There was not much clearance there, and Tesch put it right on the money as she threw it down there to Kress.
This one into left field, and that's going to be a base hit. How about it for Offenbacher, the designated player? First time in the order in this tournament, and she makes an impact. She's on base.
Made some solid contacts there. A lot of times we'll see some duck snorts and some cue balls off the end of the bat, and right now Ridgeview Logan-Magnolia. I love how they're up there. There's not many balls crossing the plate in the strike zone that Logan-Magnolia is not swinging at. They are up there to do some damage today.
Kennedy Evans steps in now, the catcher from the left side here for Logan-Magnolia. The 1-0 pitch, this one's into center field. Avina's underneath it, she'll make the catch. So Avina comes in and makes a nice play in center field, keeping that runner at first base. As back to the top of the order with Graceland Stone. This Logan-Magnolia team we mentioned earlier, but made their first ever state tournament appearance in 2006. Haven't been here since 2022, and this one is driven deep to center field. Stone off the top of the wall. Around second, going to third. Offenbacher coming back home. Will she score? She will. An RBI double for Graceland Stone.
How about the day that Stone is having right now? Leads off the game with a home run, and she's
sacrifice
fly to move a runner on, and that there. I mean, and what actually made that one is the carom off the wall. That ball then came back as Avina was trying to get out to make the play. The ball rockets back, so she's able to get a couple extras. I'm not sure that you get a score there from first base if she's able to field that cleanly, but the ball rolled so far back to the infield.
As Shinger will make the catch there, and will end the bottom half of the fourth, but not before Graceland Stone does it again. 3 at-bats, 3 RBIs for Stone, and it is a 4-0 lead for Logan-Magnolia. We head to the top half of the fifth inning here in a Class 2A elimination game at Hy-Vee Field. You're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Excuse me, man. You dropped this.
Oh. Back to Fort Dodge in the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Zared Eggleston, Andy Pollock with you inside the press box here at Hy-Vee Field. This is the home of Class 2A until we reach the championship game, and it has been a stomping ground so far today for Campbell Chase in the circle. She has been phenomenal for this Logan-Magnolia team, and the first pitch is sent up and out of play by Todd.
Well, yeah, you've got great contributions from her in the circle, and we knew you would. I mean, she's been steady Eddie all season long. Just, she does not walk many batters at all. In fact, yesterday she walked one, and we all had to kind of look at each other because it just doesn't happen very often.
Third base side, and it is thrown by Hawkins across the diamond. The other thing, too, is we've mentioned it a couple of times, but Chase is really getting some help defensively today, which makes her, it improves her game.
Well, and it's routine plays that she's getting. There's two sides to this. Sometimes you have pitchers that get a lot of errors that are error magnets. They're not the ones causing the errors, but people hit it so hard against them that you see a lot more errors against them. And Chase, it's just nice. They're your routine ground balls, routine fly balls. Haven't had to make any outstanding plays in the outfield, just making the routine.
1 ball and no strikes the count here on Haran.
Of course, having the bat of Grayson Stone has helped out a bunch.
This would be without Stone, it's a 1-0 game in the top of the fifth inning. And so we're in a battle. Still is 4-0, still is a battle. Don't count this Ridgeview team out yet, as they have put up runs and can put up runs with the best of them.
We've seen it in this tournament.
But right now has been in the favor of Logan-Magnolia. Here's the 2-1 pitch, ground ball, third base side, and that's going to be a base hit. So Ridgeview will put a runner on as Horan is on here in the 8th spot. Cutterback, is coming up next here in the 9th spot. Then you go to Tesh at the top of the order.
Yeah, that ball just kind of finds the opening. There's no way Stone could make the play if she keeps that in the infield.
So runner at first, one away here for Logan-Magnolia defensively.
Ridgeview has 4 hits.
They're going to try to lay down the bunt here and try to beat it out over at first. Will not, but it moves the runner into scoring position with 2 outs for the top of the order with Tesh coming up.
And that was a really nice play coming over from second base. Kiger throw a little bit high. She snow-coned it. Otherwise, that ball's heading to the outfield and the run is scoring. But just a great bunt defense all around and get that second out. And a big opportunity for Tesh here, though, with a runner in scoring position. She swung a hot bat.
Head coach Barry Anderson down the third base side, second year as the head coach of this Ridgeview Raptors team.
Doesn't have to worry about any discipline on his team. He's the principal at the school, so doesn't have to worry about any discipline issues when he's the one that can handle it on his own. I'm sure he doesn't have any with this group of young ladies.
Tied for first in the very competitive Western Valley Conference this year. Here's the 1-0. And that's a base hit through the middle of the right side of the infield. They're going to try to score the run. Here comes the runner. It will score. So the sack bunt to second base will pay off dividends as Tesh will line one between first and second into right field. And just like that, Ridgeview is on the board.
And Horan was never slowing down at all as she rounded third base. She was coming home with intent to score that first run and now trying to put a little 2-out rally together for the Raptors, which right now is my favorite mascot in the tournament.
Hawthorne will bat from the right side of the runner at first base, and Hawthorne calls time as Chase taking a little extra time to figure out the pitch that she wants to throw with Evans behind the plate. And, of course, coming from the dugout to the left side. Hawthorne will step back in, runner at first base, 2 away here in the 5th, and that first pitch is in there for a called strike.
What our umpiring crew here this morning already. They've done an outstanding job. Travis Chiswick has been really good behind the plate, and as he always is. Aaron Schmidt out at first, Mike Fry over at second.
.330 average this season. That's a strike. Here comes the throw down to second base. Not in time. Another runner in scoring position for Ridgeview as Tesh is able to slide in there at second base. Don't always see catchers running. A lot of times you'll see a courtesy runner, but when you've got a runner with the speed of Tesh, you might as well keep her on the base paths.
Yeah, she's had well over 30 stolen bases on the season, so nothing new for her. And I think she caught Chase in a changeup, so that ball takes a lot longer to get to home plate anyway.
1 ball and 1 strike to count. Here's the pitch, and this one's in the air, and it's foul behind home plate. Hawthorne, .330 average this year.
Just looking up as our netting here above us is starting to create a little shadow with all the balls that have accumulated over the course of the week.
Hawthorne, the right fielder, has 30 RBIs this season. Does have 3 home runs, 3 triples, and 4 doubles coming into this state tournament, so she has the power. The 1-2, and this one is lined into right field, showing off that power. Oh,
right off the
golf cart.
Golf cart over there. Little cart golf.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Plastic windshields, though, so it should be okay.
They say right on them, it does not protect you from flying balls.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. A huge strikeout for Chase. Leaves a runner at second base, but the Raptors have broken through. They score here in the top half of the 5th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th next. This Class 2A elimination game is Logan-Magnolia, the Panthers, leading 4-1 over the Raptors of Ridgeview. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Life's buzzing with energy. From the delightfully routine, to the novel and exciting, to the truly uncharted. With all that life brings, it's easy to lose track of what powers all those moments, our health. At Mercy One, our caring doctors focus on just that, powering health, from the everyday to the extraordinary. So you're ready for what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Back to Fort Dodge in the IGHSAU State Softball Championships here in Fort Dodge. And we have a 4-1 lead as Campbell Chase will step in favor of Logan-Magnolia. The winner of this gets Wapsie Valley later this afternoon. The loser will end their season here at the state tournament. That's lined right past the second baseman. Cutter back into right field. It'll be a single for Chase. Played back into second base, so Chase with a leadoff single. Doing it in the circle and doing it at the plate.
Yeah, and it comes back to, again, no balls are crossing that zone without a big swing from Loma here. They just continue to rack up hits and feel like they're contacting everything that's remotely close.
We'll have a courtesy runner for Chase over at first base. We'll wait for the number on our courtesy runner.
I can't pick up those yellow numbers on the white very well. My eyes are getting old. You know, if you have any trouble getting served here up in Fort Dodge this morning, there's a reason for it. If you run into a business and it feels a little dead, we've got both Fort Dodge and St. Ed's playing right now. So
yeah,
we've got both of them leading here as well this morning. They've got each of them would have to win 3 games today to move on, but up for the challenge.
Emery Miller is the courtesy runner for Campbell Chase, the freshman over at first base. Wears 13. Has no stolen bases this season. We mentioned earlier that the flex player in Klutz out in right field is normally who they use in courtesy running situations so far this season, but now she's in the game playing right field today. So going with Emery Miller over at first base to run for Chase. A couple of strikes find their way in on Bertelson, the first baseman. That one's outside for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
No, the changeup that she threw Bertelson on the last pitch was dirty. I had Bertelson swinging out of her shoes.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count for Todd. And the 1-2 pitch is fouled back to the backstop. We mentioned the youngness on this Logan-Magnolia team, but you get that as well in spots here for this Ridgeview team as well. And as we mentioned it, just an 8th grader with Todd in the circle. The 1-2 ground ball third base side. It's through into left field. That'll be a base hit. As Bertelson is on now, Chase and Bertelson both on. Runners are at first and second, nobody out. And Logan-Magnolia hoping for another big one here in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Yeah, it hits that chopper right through the gap again, getting in front of the pitch. A lot of stuff to that left side of the field, a lot of power behind it. And they did rule that an error, so that would be the 3rd error of the day on Ridgeview.
No, they ruled it a base hit.
Oh, they did? Okay, it changed then because I was looking at it. It was.
Yep, so Bertelson's on at first. Miller is on at second. As stepping into the box now for Logan-Magnolia is Hawkins, the third baseman. 1 for 2 so far today. And there's a swing and a miss for Hawkins.
Nobody out, and he's trying to.
Runners on base at first and second.
Yeah, punch a couple across right now and get some insurance.
The 0-2, this one's into center field. That's going to be a base hit. It's going to score at least one. Will they try to score two? No, they're going to hold up the runner at third with Bertelson. It'll be a RBI single for Hawkins, her second hit of the game. And now runners are at first and third. It's a 5-1 lead for Logan-Magnolia, and we could see the change here as we could see Ashinger coming in to pitch for Ridgeview. We will see what Coach Anderson decides to do. At minimum, at least having a conversation.
Yeah, just have a conversation right now. A lot of times with first and third, you'll have the coaches come out and just discuss how you want to handle it. Right now, it's tough because as much as you need to get an out, you do not want to risk giving up another run at the moment. So I think the discussion's probably going to be concede that run to second. Just don't give up, or concede that runner to second. Don't give up any more runs right now, because all of a sudden if you're looking at 7 or 8-1, you're talking run rule territory here pretty soon. So you just got to be very careful, especially with no outs, about how you're going to handle this situation right now. Is Travis Chiswick going to go out and break up the huddle? No change made yet.
Nope. They're going to keep it the same. Todd stays in the circle. Ashinger goes back to her shortstop position. Everybody else returns. Runners are at first and third here for Logan-Magnolia, and stepping up to the plate with this first and third situation is Juritz. 1 for 2 so far today. She's got a single and a strikeout. So Juritz 1 for 2. A chance to score another run with a runner at third base. The throw down to shortstop comes in to Ashinger. She'll give it back to Todd. They'll give the runner to second base, as you were mentioning. So we got runners at second and third.
Well, no sense for your runner on third to put anything in jeopardy there. Just get that runner into scoring position. And Juritz is, batting over 350 right now in the tournament and has a chance to really open this game up right now. You just get the sense that Logan-Magnolia senses some blood in the water right now. Smells a little bit of that because they have come up swinging the bat in this fifth inning.
And this one is fouled up and out of play over to the right side. Still nobody out. 2 runners in scoring position. 1 run in here in the bottom half of the fifth inning for Logan-Magnolia. Looking to add on some more. Here's the pitch from Todd. Swing and a miss. Great pitch there by Todd. At this point, strikeout best friend here for Ridgeview and Todd. 1-2 the count. Todd has 3 strikeouts today. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball third base side. And they've got a run down trying to get that lead runner at third. Tesh will chase her back. She's safe. Everybody's safe. They stopped that runner from going home, but getting back to third base, Tesh was trying to chase her down from behind the plate, and she'll slide back in safely at third. So Bertelson is safe. Hawkins gets the second, and Juritz gets the first on the fielder's choice.
Well, and at minimum, that's the second best thing that can happen in your situation there at Ridgeview. But just like that, you've got your walk-off run stepping to the plate with nobody out.
5-1 lead, and that one's in there for a called strike. And Ella Hack, she has already found the outfield fence once in this tournament. She's got 4 of them on. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This one is popped up into center field. Avina's underneath it. The run will come home. It'll be a sac fly, so Hack will bring in 1 with the sac fly.
Not a bad situation there for Ridgeview. Get that first out. Just giving up that runner from third. Again, steady glove out in the outfield from Avina.
Offenbacker steps in now from the right side. Runners are at first and second. She had a base hit her last time up. 1 for 2 so far today as the designated player. Runners are at first and second. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes now the count. 6-1 is the lead in favor of Logan-Magnolia. It's going to need some offense eventually from Ridgeview. They're trying to fight their way back in, but right now they're worried about the defensive end. The 0-2 pitch in the air towards left field. And they'll make the catch for out number 2. as that one's played nicely out in left field by Haran.
Big opportunity to dodge a bullet right now for the Raptors as they make that infield very big right now, can take the out anywhere to get that third out of the inning and get back to the bats.
Yeah, if only 2 runs come across here for Logan-Magnolia. This one is sent to right field off the bat, and the catch will be made out in right by Hawthorne. So only surrendering 2 runs. Obviously, you don't want to surrender 2 runs, but after that start from Logan-Magnolia in the bottom half of the 5th inning, 2 runs is probably pretty close to a consolation victory there for the Ridgeview Raptors. 6-1 the lead after 5 complete. We head to the 6th. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family, Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
Back to Fort Dodge in the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. We're at the Hy-Vee Field here in Class 2A. Zarin Eggestal and Andy Pollock with you as Logan-Magnolia leading by a score of 6-1 here in the top half of inning number 6. And how good has Campbell Chase been today?
Well, she's been really good, and their bats have been outstanding as well. They've put together 8 hits. And no huge offensive outbursts. In fact, they've left a lot of runners on as well, but they've put a couple runs up in every inning but the third. So you get 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth. And, man, with the way Chase is throwing the ball in the circle and the way she's spinning it, you feel really good about a 5-run lead at this point.
And the way the defense is playing behind her, I know we keep mentioning that, but the way the defense is playing behind her today, it just feels like a great start to the morning. As Logan-Magnolia stopped by Hy-Vee and got some Wheaties this morning.
Trying to get their face on a Wheaties box at the end of the week.
This one in the air and out of play. As that one heading for the 1A field. 1A field to our immediate left. 5A field to our immediate right. 3A and 4A playing on the 2 championship fields here this season.
Got to get some base runners in this inning right now as Ridgeview down to their last 6 outs.
The 0-1, ground ball third base side. It'll be no balls and 2 strikes the count. Ridgeview trying to keep their season going here in Fort Dodge. Will be a long day for either of these 2 teams if they're able to make their way to the championship game.
Yeah, got to wait a couple more games in between before they'd play in that next first semifinal game. Say first because either of these teams would have to win 2.
That pitch will miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. As the batter is Aschinger, the shortstop. 0 for 2 so far today. She's got a fly out and a strikeout. But has been a fantastic hitter throughout the year. And this one pulled foul as well by Aschinger. 1 ball and 2 strikes remains our count.
Chase continues to work that inside part of the plate, jamming these hitters.
Almost 400 hitting this season. Does have a home run in this tournament. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 4 home runs coming into the tournament. Has a home run already this week. That one misses outside for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. 5 home runs on the season for Aschinger. Nearing the 40 RBI mark this season as well. Getting closer in the mid-30s. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. And this one misses high for ball 3. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fell behind the count, fouled a couple pitches off, and now she has had a fantastic at-bat to work at full 3-2. Working against Chase. The set and the 3-2 pitch is fouled. Back to the backstop. Will stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Gotta start it off with a leadoff batter here. That's the answer. Yep. I mean, you just want to, again, get some base runners in this inning, and maybe if you get a run or two out of it, great, but would really love to see your team get back to the top part of the order, and got to get a couple to make that happen.
Another foul ball back to the screen by Aschinger. A long at-bat getting set for the 8th pitch of this at-bat. Here for Aschinger. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count, the 3-2, and that's ball 4. What a fantastic at-bat by the leader of this team.
Went deep into the count. First walk issued by Chase today. We mentioned she just doesn't do it that often, but eventually you just get a little frustrated when you keep getting those pitches fouled off over and over and over again.
A senior captain, Aschinger, for this Ridgeview squad is on over at first base, trying to build for some runs, and that one's in there for a called strike. No balls and 1 strike to count. Chase 4 strikeouts, has surrendered 5 hits. That walk a moment ago, ground ball third base side, it is foul.
Well, that's what Chase has just been so good about this whole tournament and all season long. Just, the ability to not give free passes to first base. However, in this situation, you're not looking at sacrificing any outs when you need to score 5 runs to tie it up in an elimination game. Forcing it maybe to get a little bit uncomfortable and have to swing away through some of these counts.
The 0-2 is high for a ball. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Comes back to that inside. Just loves to keep working it. Get something over to that left side of the infield and make a play, as they have all morning.
Chase will find the sign on the wrist card and the 1-2 pitch. Will miss. Evans, the pump fake on a throwback over at first base. 2-2, another batter working a count here.
Chase gets excited as she gets into the game. You just watch her get more and more pumped as the game goes on.
The 2-2 offering. This one's in the air to left field. It's going towards foul territory, and the catch is made out in left field. Fantastic. Tracking that one down is Juritz, right in front of the tarp.
Good job finding the fence. I mean, that's advanced stuff, because that stuff that's not, a lot of times we'll talk about day one mechanics, but you're finding the fence and able to make the play, and it's a big out right now.
Well, the other thing is these smaller schools, these 1A, 2A, maybe even some of the 3A schools, they're not used to having a tarp in the outfield.
I forgot about that. Yeah, we're looking at the tarp about to fall over that.
And a little popper to second base in time for out number 2. So after surrendering a leadoff walk, back-to-back flyouts for Chase, and she's looking to get through another clean inning here in the 6th inning.
And I will tell you, being around big schools all summer long, neither do the big schools. There's not a tarp in the outfield, so that is pretty unique to our facility here in Fort Dodge.
I'm going to play the tarp out there in left field is Juritz. That one's a swing and a miss for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to count. Runner over at first base is Aschinger, who drew a leadoff walk. Ground ball towards the middle of the infield. Stone comes in, throws it to first. It's wide. And everybody is going to move up a base. Runners to second and third. And now the ball gets away on the throwback to the pitcher, but fortunately, the third baseman, Hawkins, was there to back it up. If Hawkins wasn't there, that would have been a run for Ridgeview, and it would have been a slight little mess here for Logan-Magnolia. Still okay with runners at second and third. There's 2 outs. Both teams feeling okay about this. Ridgeview has 2 in scoring position. Logan-Magnolia says we just need 1 more out.
Yeah, and just the first error of the day on Logan-Magnolia, who has been sparkling out there in the field. But, having to rush that throw a little bit, probably would have got her. Just had a slow enough roller. Another chance here.
Back up the middle across the diamond, and it's solid this time from Stone to get out of it. 2 runners stranded by the Raptors. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's still Logan-Magnolia out in front, have paced this entire game. They lead 6-1. The offense is back for the Panthers. When we come back, the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Ready? Let's go.
Mom, over here.
Yeah, this kind of thing can happen when you're hiking, but no worries, Mom. I can prescribe something to soothe the itch.
Unity Point Health looks at your family's health from your point of view, offering same-day appointments with expertise focused on what matters most to you. Unity Point Health. Expert care focused on you.
Back to Fort Dodge, the IGHSAU State Softball Championships. Presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Hy-Vee Field, the host of Class 2A. Where we are stationed at for this one in Logan-Magnolia, trying to put themselves into a 2:30 tilt with Wapsie Valley. A team they lost to in the opening round, and a chance for revenge, but they've got to get through one more half inning of this Ridgeview Raptors team. A chance to add on some insurance runs here for Logan-Magnolia.
Good spot to do it with.
And that first pitch will miss for a ball. It has been an RBI in every single at-bat so far today for Graceland Stone. She'll have to hit a solo home run again if she wants to add an RBI, another RBI to her tally. As she started off the game with a solo home run, had a sacrifice fly, and then scored another run her last time up on a double. 2 for 2 today.
It was a long double, too, off the top of the fence.
Yeah. This one off the bat, right back at Todd over to first base. And for the first time today, Stone out without a run scoring.
Got stuck in a rough position there trying to check her swing. And there it was right out in front of the plate. Nice job fielding position.
You see
Nora Todd.
Yeah, you see Stone coming back and telling Kiger about something. That's the leadership on this Logan-Magnolia team. Comes back, tells Todd something that she saw, tells Kiger something she saw from Todd. First pitch for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes the count. Here's the 1-0. And that one's in there for a called strike. Now 1 ball and 1 strike the count.
Nora Todd is going to rack up a lot of wins in her career as we are just scratching the surface of what this 8th grader can do.
There's a swing and a miss to make it now 1 ball and 2 strikes the count.
That off-speed pitch, it's got it looks like it's coming in as a high fastball, and that's the other pitch that she pairs it with. Just really, really fooling the hitters.
1-1. Ground ball right back up the middle. It's a base hit for Kiger. And Logan-Magnolia trying to add on some insurance runs here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. They've got a runner at first with just 1 away. And the heart of this Logan-Magnolia order now due up 3, 4, 5, their next 3 hitters. And it's going to start with the young lady who has been dominating in the circle today, and Campbell Chase.
Went to the well, just 1 pitch too long. That last went back to the high drop change. Not fooling anybody there, especially not Kiger.
We talked about a little bit earlier the history of this Logan-Magnolia team here at the state tournament, as Chase will foul this one out of play. 2006, their first ever appearance at the state tournament. Lost in that one 11-0 to Turkey Valley in the opening round. Came back in 2015 after a little bit of a hiatus here from the state tournament and ended up going all the way to the championship game where the Class 1A runners-up. The only time they've been in the Class 1A tournament, or had been in the Class 1A tournament, then they went to 2A after that, but they were the 1A runner-up. In 2015, lost to IGHSAU in the title game after beating Don Bosco in New London. The 1-2, this one's into right field, and it's shallow, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Chase has got a base hit. Runners at first and second.
That little flare to right field, so tough to defend because you're seeing a big swing out there in right field, and a lot of times when it heads out there, it's not coming off the bat nearly as hard, so just a really tough play to come in and make.
After their runner-up appearance in 2015, Logan-Magnolia returned to the state tournament in 2016 where they beat Central Springs in the opening round and then lost to Regina, who was a team that they could eventually face in this state tournament in the semifinals.
Of them next here.
And then in 2017, came back. So 15, 16, 17 came back, lost to Durant, who was in this 2A field this year in the quarterfinals, and then returned for a 4th straight year in 2018. As that pitch misses for a ball. Returned in 2018, lost in the quarterfinals to Central Springs. After beating Central Springs in 2016, returned in 2018, lost to Central Springs, came back in 2022 after a couple of years without. That ball's going to get back. A couple of runners will move up here for Logan-Magnolia. Lost to Wilton in 2022 in the quarterfinals 7-4. And then now this year, obviously different tournament this year, but losing that opening game to Wapsie Valley, came back to beat Durant, and now leading 6-1 here in this elimination game to Ridgeview. Have runners at second and third and a chance to add on here for Logan-Magnolia. 1 ball and 2 strikes here with 1 out and a couple of on. Trying to add some insurance runs. The 1-2 just missing outside for a ball. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. The 2-2 offering. This one in the air to left field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Another run will score for Logan-Magnolia. And now they've got I thought they were going to try to get into a rundown to maybe bring another run from third base home. But going back over to first base is Bertelsen.
Yeah, not right now. I think you're thinking of maybe ending this thing right now as that walk-off run is standing on first base.
That would be the winner for Logan-Magnolia. They wouldn't even have to give Ridgeview another opportunity in the 7th inning. And now they're going to take off to second base. And a great throw from behind the plate by Tesh, but she's safe. The tag did not come in by Aschinger. Aschinger did not get the glove far enough out for the tag. A fantastic throw from Tesh. Turning around and running back to first base was Bertelsen. Aschinger reaches out for the tag, and Coach Anderson's going to come out and have a conversation and ask about it, but of course our umpires are right there on top of it. We're a long ways away. Aschinger reaches out with the tag, just could not quite get it there.
Never quite got there. I think he's going to bring his guys together on the appeal right now. I didn't think she ever left her path between first and second.
So that would maybe be the conversation. That's possibly what Coach Anderson is asking the officials to get together about.
Aaron Schmidt going to ask Travis Chiswick and Mike Fry.
Safe.
You say safe.
So Bertelsen will get back. Bertelsen was almost to second base. A pretty good throw from Tesh behind the plate. But even better base running by Bertelsen as she just gets up and runs back to first base. And the tag does not come in. They left the runner at third. So we stayed just basically where we were. Well, we had a strike popped up in the air out of play. And that will join all the rest of our softballs that have started to gather on top of this net above us.
We're going to have an awning instead of a net by the time the weekend's over.
No balls and 2 strikes to count. Here's the pitch. Ground ball towards the shortstop. Aschinger's got it. She's going to go to first. That will surrender another run for Logan-Magnolia.
The only thing you can do with that.
Good play by Aschinger. She throws it home. It's just everybody's safe. At least get the out over there at first base. And again, an important run at second base here for Logan-Magnolia. But there is 2 outs now, and Ridgeview has a path to get to the 7th inning. They've got to find it out and keep that runner from second from scoring. In the air towards shallow center field. It's caught on the run from second base by Cutterback. Makes the play and keeps the game alive. That ball drops, and this game is likely over.
Yeah, I was looking at Avina coming in from center field and thinking there's no chance she's going to get to it, and Cutterback comes from nowhere and snow cones it.
We will head to the 7th, 8-1 in favor of Logan-Magnolia. It's 3 outs left for Ridgeview. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Fort Dodge in the IGHSAU. Logan-Magnolia is 3 outs away from a trip to the next round where they would get Wapsie Valley at 2:30 today. If they're able to find the win, Wapsie Valley has not lost. They've got to win here, and they've got to beat Wapsie Valley twice. They would have to beat Wapsie Valley at 2:30, and then they would have to beat Wapsie Valley again at 7 p.m. tonight. So for Logan-Magnolia, it would be at 10 a.m., which is the game we're in right now, a 2:30 win, and then they would have to win at 7 o'clock tonight to send themselves to the championship game.
Well, and again, you're just going to – your first talk is you're going to try to beat Wapsie one time.
Yep.
And then after that, deal with whatever situation is in front of you. And
something with the fencing
someone was inside the fence that the umpire made go back out. I'm not sure what the deal was there, but looked like it might have even been a staffer.
No balls and 1 strike to count. This one ground ball third base side. And if you're Ridgeview, that's what you need. You need to start stacking base hits, 1 hit at a time, 1 runner on base at a time. And for Ridgeview, maybe 1 run at a time, but they get the first one on.
Yeah, Ridgeview's not a team that's hit a ton of home runs throughout the course of the year, but right now, like you mentioned, just go station to station, maybe sprinkle in a double, but just 1 batter at a time and scratch and claw back into this lead and see if something good can happen here in the top of the 7th.
Got to score 7 runs. The first of those 7 is on. And anytime you're going to score 7 runs, you're going to need everybody to bat and more.
Well, and it takes all the sacrifices out of the equation. You just got to keep that ball in play.
This is the 9-hole hitter. And that's going to be a tough play for Stone over to first base. It's not in time. Back-to-back for Ridgeview. 8 and 9 are aboard, and now the top of the order comes up with runners at first and second.
Well, and it looked, Stone, we saw her pump again. I think she was thinking about going to second base to take out the leadoff runner on the easy throw. But everybody else was expecting to go to first to take the out. So just like that, you kind of start to think some momentum building for Ridgeview.
And Tesh, who has had a fantastic tournament so far. She led off this game with a leadoff double. She had 4 hits in the game yesterday, and she sends one to center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. It's going to score at least 1 for Ridgeview. Here comes the run around, the throw to third base, not in time. It's the second double of the game for Cora Tesh. A Channel Seeds extra base hit, and there's a run for the Raptors.
The opposite field power alley, and just almost snagged out there in the outfield by Hack and wasn't able to do it. And, the momentum right now is starting to work its way to the Ridgeview side. A long road to travel yet to get to that even tying it up territory. But if anything, if they're able to somehow tie this game up right now, you're going to look back at that catch that Cutaback made that saved the game from being over 100%. In the top of or bottom of the 6th.
3 straight runners to start the game for the Ridgeview Raptors. 1 run is in. Runners are at second and third. And it is Reese Hawthorne, the right fielder, who steps in here in the second spot.
Well, they said they were going to have to get back to that top part of the order, and they've got the base runners on between last inning and this inning to do it, and here they are with a chance to dig in a little bit more, and nobody out still.
And unless you score 7 straight, you're going to have to get back to where you started at in the order. This one's lined to the right field. That one was slicing, but if that one stays fair, it is trouble. Probably scoring 2 in the right corner. Just slicing to the right side from Reese Hawthorne.
Swinging the bat with confidence right now.
builds momentum. You get that one run in. Tesh is building momentum for this Ridgeview team.
And if you're Logan-Magnolia right now, you just forget about the base runners. You're only going to get that batter out.
And time will be called as Hawthorne will step out. Waiting for Chase to find the sign. And this one in the air to the right side will be out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. We talked about the history of Logan-Magnolia here at the state tournament for Ridgeview, making their first appearance in 2013 as the full group of schools. Beat Fort Dodge St. Edmunds that first year 3-1, lost in the semifinals to Durant. Ground ball, third base side, it's through the hole. Another run will score. They're going to try to score Tesh. 2 runs will score. It's a 2-run single. 3 of them have come in from Ridgeview, and all of a sudden this is an 8-4 softball game.
Yeah, you look around at the situation right now, and Ridgeview is cheering starts to happen a little bit more, and all of a sudden down by 4 with a runner on first doesn't feel like such a big mountain to overcome.
4 straight base runners, 8, 9, 1, and 2 for Ridgeview, and this brings up Ashinger, who is arguably one of the best power hitters in this order. Here for Ridgeview. She's already hit a home run in this tournament. What kind of momentum could a 2-run shot here bring?
Well, just your next 4 hitters are all outstanding hitters in this order.
The 1-0 pitch and a big cut there. She was trying to make this a 2-run game, was Ashinger. Swings through the pitch from Chase. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, and you don't have to, though, right now. You've got all these with singles. That's what you've been continuing to make it single after single and stacking them right now, and that's how they've found themselves even thinking they have a chance.
The only double is from Tesh. The rest of them have been singles. And that one is low for a ball. Now 2 balls and 1 strike, and now a hitter's count as well for Ashinger. She doesn't have to protect the plate as much. She can wait for a pitch that she wants to hit. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here is that 2-1 pitch. Another big cut at a high pitch there from Chase. And for Logan-Magnolia, time will be called. They're just looking, as you mentioned before, outs again. The runner at first base, even the runner at home, doesn't mean a whole lot. They just want to find out somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta get one. You know, boy, these games, we haven't had as many here as some other fields, but they're just never over until that 21st out is recorded. And in some situations, the 30th and 33rd, 36th, 39th out is recorded.
2-2. And this one's fouled back to the backstop. Just getting a piece of it was Ashinger.
People will be talking about that North Butler and Clarksville game on Class 1A from Monday night that went 15 innings. Just would not end, and you know both teams had lots of chances to win. Clarksville ultimately wins and still in the tournament.
2-2, big strikeout, the 5th of the game for Chase, and that gets some momentum back on the side of the fans in purple as the Logan-Magnolia fans in front of us on their feet and cheering. That is 1 out retired. They need 2 more outs before Ridgeview scores 4 more runs. As Chase picks up her 5th strikeout in the contest, had 6 strikeouts yesterday. Has surrendered 9 hits, walked 1. All 4 runs have been earned today. Runner at first base and 1 away, the 1-0 pitch. Evans thought about a back pick, did not throw. Again, that would just be possible trouble. That throw down, it gets into right field. It's just
also you got to just play that pretty close right now. At first, your out means way more than your run.
This one is lined out into left field, and it's a foul ball.
Ball just kept tailing that way, just kept being pulled over a little bit more.
Ripped down the third base side, just in foul territory. 3 runs in here so far for Ridgeview. The first 4 batters of the half inning all reach. 3 of them have come around to score, and this one just out in front of it, getting a piece of that one.
Comes back with a changeup. Now I'd like to see that, looking for some inside heat.
Has a pitch to use up here. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Chase trying to get it to 2 outs. We've seen some 2-out magic. We always like to be at 2 outs. Ground ball towards Stone at shortstop. She'll go to second for 1. It's in time. They'll get the lead runner. A big out there, and now Logan-Magnolia is 1 out away. So 4 consecutive reach, 3 of them score, and now back-to-back outs for Logan-Magnolia, and they are 1 out away. Down to the final out is Ridgeview, as Leslie Avina will step in, the center fielder.
And try to start a 2-out rally. Avina again back in the lineup today. Not sure she thought she'd be in this situation.
1 ball, no strikes on Avina. The pitch. And that one misses for ball 2. It'll be 2 balls and no strikes, the count here on Avina. Runner at first base, and there's 2 outs. And the pitch. And this one's fouled back to the backstop. 2 balls and a strike. Chase looking from the sign from the dugout. Gets it from Evans. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Ooh.
Now 1 strike away.
Yeah, she goes to that spot out there a few times with the fastball, and then comes back with a drop change out there and drops under the bat of Avina.
Ridgeview down to their final strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Campbell Chase, the 2-2 pitch is fouled on a play, and we'll do it all over again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ridgeview has scored 3.
Yeah, Avina, not going to go down without a fight.
Trying to keep things going for the Raptors. The 2-2 offering is fouled off. It's a piece of that one, enough of it to put it down the first base side and stay alive here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Logan-Magnolia trying to move on to 2:30. Ridgeview trying to make an impossible comeback. The 2-2 pitch again, just getting a piece of it.
Avina just keeps battling right now. See what she can do to keep this game extended.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And time is called by Chase as she's trying to get the pitch call from the dugout one more time. Has a wrist card on her hand, and the 2-2. And it's fouled off again. Avina doing everything she can. She is going to swing at every pitch to make sure that it's in her decision whether she keeps batting or not.
And that one was almost like a bunt, and then she swung through it, just trying to get anything she can on it till she gets a good pitch to hit. Up into quality at-bat territory.
The 2-2 again. Ground ball first base side. It is stepped on by Bertelsen, and that will be it. Ridgeview made it a contest here at the end, scoring 3 runs in their first 4 batters. But Logan-Magnolia is 33% of the way there. They get the first of 3 wins they will need today as they defeat Ridgeview, and they are off to play at 2:30 against Wapsie Valley. A team they will have to beat twice today, a team that they fell to in the opening round, 7-2, and they will get a chance at revenge later today.
Well, they're 100% accomplished on their goals so far today. Now you move on to that next one, because if you look at it from a big picture perspective, it can be pretty daunting knowing you're going to have to beat a team with the quality of Wapsie twice here at some point today. You're just going to have to go move on to that next game right now, and I'm sure we'll see Chase in the circle one more time, and with her up there, you've got a chance anytime she's in the circle.
And credit to Ridgeview, did not stop fighting. I mean, some teams would have just laid down there at the end, whatever. We're down by 7 runs, but Ridgeview fought till the very end.
Well, they made that game a lot more exciting than what the final score would suggest here in that last inning, and just a couple individual runs put together in some innings today, and that's why you get that doubled up score of 8-4.
A fantastic season for Coach Barry Anderson and the Ridgeview team as they will hold up their trophy to their fans. And I would assume it's got to be Stone, right? Yep.
There it is.
Graceland Stone is the star of the game, a fantastic shortstop. Led the game off with a solo home run, had a sacrifice fly, and then a double that scored a run. She had runs in her first 3 at-bats and played fantastic at shortstop. Stone is the quick star of the game. Well, we move from the bottom half of the bracket to the top half of the bracket.
Well, I was going to say, Logan-Magnolia fans, they've got about 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes to get here for this afternoon's 2:30 game. It's just over a 2-hour drive. Time to get here and cheer on these ladies. They're going to need it this afternoon.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Those of you that are watching at home, you have plenty of time to get here to Fort Dodge before Logan-Magnolia plays again at 2:30 today. Well, that's going to wrap up our first of what could be many games here in Class 2A on Hy-Vee Field today. We'll be back with you at 12:15 today as we will get set for the top